Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so actually today I feel like these topics that we're going to talk about I could probably put in top of the blogs. However, better safe than sorry is what they say. Maybe these topics could get me flagged. So, we're just going to separate them out again this week. But this won't be an extremely long video. Hopefully you guys are good. More stories of police brutality, murdering victims, innocent victims on the street. The story this week, you guys, it's become so familiar. Every week we find out about a case where the police used their power to overcome and kill another black person. This time will be Elijah McClain. I had not heard about this story. Like most people hadn't heard about this story. Evidently, this happened back in August of 2019. I was scrolling through my Instagram and I was on Angelica Smiley's Smiley Adventures. I was on her IG and I saw the story and I was like, what? When did this happen? This is craziness. So evidently, August 24th, Elijah was walking home from a convenience store. He had on a ski mask. Now, this is in Aurora, Colorado. Not really sure what the temperature is in Aurora, during the summertime, but we did find out that Elijah wore a ski mask because he was extremely anemic and had a tendency to get very cold very easily. I also don't know what time of the day it was, so that could also factor in. But okay, someone called the police, fine. So as he was walking home from the convenience store, the police approached him and immediately there was a confrontation. I'm not sure if they asked him why he had the ski mask on, but they did grab for him and there was a struggle. I haven't seen the video. I'll admit I haven't seen the video. I don't know if I can watch another one of those videos. I just can't do it, you guys. I just can't do it. But there have been many posts that actually have the verbiage of what he was saying to the police as he pleaded to the police to let him go. He went on to say that he had a right to be there. He wasn't doing anything illegal. He didn't have any weapons. Please let him go. He's on his way home. He left the store. He's continuously trying to explain to them as the struggle was going on that he hadn't done anything. As you're reading the transcript of what he was saying, of course they have the transcript because the police had on body cameras, and evidently when another police walked up, he noticed that the person that was struggling with Elijah had his body cam on, or it was directly pointed at him. He was actually told to move his camera. Okay, so once we start getting to the point where we're not trying to get any of what's going on camera, we know that there's going to be a problem. So they continued to struggle with him. They said that struggle went on for something like 15 minutes, which is like crazy to me because they say that Elijah is only 140 pounds. And even if you have two police officers on somebody of that size, it seems like you'd be able to, get control of it pretty easily. Again, I haven't seen the video, but they slam him down to the ground. They pin him down in a carotid control hold. I don't know exactly what that hole is, but what that hold is, but carotid artery is like a main artery that's in your neck. And I'm imagining if you put enough pressure to it, it could probably stop you from doing a whole lot. He continued to complain that he couldn't breathe, that it hurts, that he was sorry, that he would do whatever he needed to do for them to let him go. He doesn't do anything to anybody. He doesn't hurt anybody. He doesn't even kill insects. The transcript is heartbreaking because he's just saying whatever he can for them to stop. They never do stop. The medic actually ends up coming and injects him with a ketamine drug, which is I don't know if I'm saying that right, ketamine, which is a sedation drug. The medic ended up injecting him with way too much. They said more than twice his body weight you know, the amount that they would inject to somebody that's twice his body weight. So that already was an issue. They say that they put him in the ambulance. He had 2 heart attacks in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, and by 3 days later they considered him brain dead. By August 30th he was dead. Okay. And yeah, never heard of this, never heard of the case or anything about it. Nothing happened to the police officers, nothing happened to the medics. All the people that was involved in Elijah McClain's death, nothing has happened to them. And it's been damn near a year now. And you know, when you start to think about these cases, it starts to make you feel like, damn, this is really going on everywhere, every day. And we just don't hear about it. You know, the only reason that we would hear about Elijah's case right now is because the block is hot. You know, there's been a lot of a lot of deaths going on that's been racially motivated, a lot of police brutality involved in it. And that is really the only reason why we got this story. Not necessarily surprising, and that's even sad to say, but scary that we didn't know anything about this. Now, of course, the family has decided to really try to take this thing social. They have an Instagram page for him. I think it's @Justice for Elijah McClain, and there they have a lot of information where you can try to do what you can to get the prosecutors to press charges against the police officers and the medics that were involved in Elijah's death. So I'll leave that information on the video here on the screen. And I just really need for my rock star lawyers to kind of weigh in here. My rock star lawyers, the real ones, please. Please, the real ones, okay? Brianna Taylor. This case has gotten so much attention. I mean, so many people know about Brianna Taylor's case. And really nothing has happened. They fired one of the police officers that was involved, and they only fired that person because he was the one that wrote up the warrant. There's still 2 other police officers that was involved in that no-knock warrant that busted in and ended up killing Brianna Taylor. Nothing has happened to them. I am really starting to wonder if there is like some extreme legal hurdle that the prosecutors cannot get around or cannot get over. Like, what exactly is the problem now that absolutely nothing is done? Because the pressure is definitely on for somebody in that case to move, and nothing has happened. And so I'm starting to feel like maybe there's just something legal that they just cannot seem to, you know, they know that it won't stick. And so I just need a lawyer that's, you know, knows something about criminal law that can really explain to us what the fuck is the holdup. They've even gone as far as passing a law that we now are not doing no-knock warrants. They call it the Brianna Taylor law. You passing laws in this girl's name and still nothing has happened to the people. The reason why that law became, and nothing has happened to the people that were involved. It's obvious that you guys have figured out that no-knock warrants are bad news many times. I mean, we've had a few times when people have busted into the wrong houses and shot and injured or killed somebody. They've decided that maybe the no-knock warrants ain't working. What's going on with the Brianna Taylor thing? It just makes no sense to me. It's crazy, okay? And it's really getting me to think that there's something else that is holding this whole thing up. So yeah, my rock star lawyers, I need you guys to weigh in on that. Another update I could talk to you guys about is the Ahmaud Arbery case down here in Georgia. The 3 suspects of that case, Travis and Greg McMichael, and then William Bryant Jr., they all went before the grand jury yesterday, and they all were indicted. Okay, they were indicted on 9 charges. In those charges, malice, murder, and felony murder, and aggravated assault and false imprisonment imprisonment. They were all included in the charges that were brought up against them. So very good. People were concerned about it going before the grand jury. I couldn't figure out why it needed to go before the grand jury. It seemed like it was open and it should have went straight to court. I mean, we knew that there was an issue there. So there was some concern that the grand jury, and it being their peers, that they wouldn't come back with the right verdict, but they have, and the prosecution says, or the special prosecutor says that they will move forward with this case. They have no choice but to move forward with this case. Again, it has way too much attention. Everybody is watching this, but so we're glad to see that they did the right thing. We're still moving forward in that, but we still gonna wait and see. Okay, because like I know how these things turn out. We could also do an update on the Rashard Brooks case. Okay, or it's not a case yet because nothing has happened other than those guys being charged. But I don't even... This has really nothing to do with anything. If anything, it just kind of... Okay, so evidently Rashard Brooks was a married man. Not sure if he was actively married. Him and his wife could have been separated. I don't know the particulars on that. However, when Rashard was being questioned by the police in that extremely long video, he mentioned something about his friend Natalie White. I've seen the clip where he says Natalie White, but I watched the long video the first time and then I never watched it again. So I don't really know exactly if he said my girlfriend or, if he just mentioned his friend. He's supposed to be meeting his friend or whatever. But Natalie White is the important part of this conversation because there was a video remember I told you guys that there was a video that was caught of a white woman, looks like she was setting fire to the Wendy's, which was where he had fallen asleep in the drive-thru. Looks like she was setting fire to the building, and she became a suspect. Well, they ended up arresting Natalie White the other day, and it turns out that, yes, these two are friends, and some people are even saying that that was his girlfriend, and that, or a side chick, considering the fact that he's married. Again, I'm not sure if he was separated or not. When the story first broke, they made it seem like he was actively married with his wife and, he was a man that was taken away from his family and all of that. But now we're hearing story about this Natalie White girl. Look, it doesn't really matter to me. Doesn't really change the facts of the shooting. I mean, people be in all types of situations in their marriages. And, if he had this side girlfriend and all, yeah, not ideal, but that shit happens. So, I mean, that's something separate. I don't really care. But a lot of emphasis has been put on her being the mistress and all of that. The lawyer for Natalie White has come out and said that they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. They were friends, that she was there when the fire went down, but she did not start the fire. Now, if you guys actually see the video, it doesn't look like she's starting the fire. It looks like there's already a fire that's going on. Okay. So I guess they could say maybe they felt like she contributed to the fire. She definitely was up at the building, but it really looked like she was handing something to somebody that was inside. I never saw an active flame or anything like this in her hand. And I don't know if she actually went in the building. In the video that I saw, she was just kind of standing, looks like at the drive-through window, at one of the windows, handing something to somebody. Again, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. So, but that's what the talk is. And it's starting to make people kind of forget about what exactly we should be talking about in that, in that discussion, which is Rashard Brooks being killed. Okay, and whether or not you felt like there was, unlawful lethal force used. That's what the discussion should be, not whether or not he has. Because people that get killed unrightfully so, I mean, a lot of them have a whole bunch of drama and shit going on in their lives. That ain't got nothing to do with what's happening right now, so I don't really care about that. And let me look and see what other topics I have here that I feel like I might need to talk to you guys separate from top of the blogs. Politics, I think I can put politics in top of the blogs. I think we'll be okay with that. And it's not a lot in top of the blog, so maybe I do need to just go on and cut it here. But you guys let me know what you think about that, especially the Brianna Taylor question that I was asking, because I am just dumbfounded. So many people have really tried to get this thing pushed through, and for whatever reason, nothing is happening. And it's starting to make me feel like nothing will happen. So, yeah, like I said, I'd like my rock star lawyers to let me know what's what on that. What else do you guys want to talk about? If there's anything that I might have missed in this, it may come up in top of the blogs, but you can still go on and throw it in here in the comment section, and you guys can discuss amongst yourselves. All right. All right, you guys, that is it. Let me get on to top of the blogs. Again, that's going to be a short video too, because I don't have that much to talk about, but we'll get to it anyway. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rocks. The channel's for It's Rocks, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.